Joining me now is House Judiciary Committee Chair. That would be Jim Jordan, who joins us now. The report won't be released. You okay with that?
Well, I think we should follow the rules, and the rules say that you're not supposed to release reports of individuals who are no longer members of the United States House of Representatives. So the Democrats want to, not follow the rules. So if the rules said release it, I would be for release it. The rules say not to release it, so it shouldn't be released. That's where the Speaker's at. That's where the committee was at. So I think that's entirely appropriate.
Are you comfortable then with Gaetz becoming Attorney General through a recess appointment?
Well, I hope it goes through the process and he gets confirmed. We have a process under our Constitution. The president gets to nominate, and then, of course, the Senate's involved in actual confirmation and doing the advise and consent responsibilities they have under our Constitution. What I know is Matt Gaetz is one of the most talented members we've ever had on our committee. And all you got to do is watch him cross-examine a witness. And then I know this, if he's the Attorney General, I don't think we're going to have a Justice Department that is investigating moms and dads who are going to school board meetings. I don't think we're going to have a Justice Department where the Richmond field office writes a memorandum saying if you're a pro-life Catholic, you're an extremist. And maybe if Mr. Gaetz is running the Justice Department, we might actually get some answers to some kind of basic questions, like who planted the pipe bombs on January 6th, who leaked the Dobbs opinion, and who put cocaine at the White House. I think the American people have a right to know those answers to those questions. So I'm looking for an Attorney General who's going to do what they're supposed to do, not be weaponizing the Justice Department against the very people they're supposed to serve.
All right, I'll move on. In a new Wall Street Journal op-ed, Musk and Ramaswamy revealed their DOGE plan to radically cut regulations and cut costs. Congressman, this is a radical stuff here. Do you think they can get it all done?
I think they can get a lot of it done. I hope they get it all done, because what we need is our economy growing. And when you have all this ridiculous regulation on entrepreneurs and small business owners and American manufacturing and everything else, it just makes us tough to grow like we need to grow to deal with the $36 trillion debt, for goodness sake, and get our economy moving in a way that's going to help families, help our economy, and help us address this debt problem. So I'm all for their effort. At some point, I believe they'll have a report. We'll have to implement some of that, I think, in legislation. I hope we do. I hope we get that done. But I think what President Trump's put together with Mr. Musk and Mr. Ramaswamy is a darn good idea.
Well, it's just very central to the Trump revolution, isn't it? Department of Government efficiency. That's what it's all about. That will create a very different government from the one we've got now, if they can push it through.
I think that's so true. This election was about changing the attitude of the federal government. The American people said, we want a government that is smaller, more efficient, and serves us, not one that's big and weaponized against us. President Trump ran on that message and a host of other things, but that was a central element. They also want a government that doesn't infringe on their First Amendment free speech rights, for goodness sake. So that's why President Trump is nominating the people he is nominating for these key posts, because he wants folks in there who are going to shake it up, like Mr. Musk, like Mr. Ramaswamy, and the host of other people he's put forward as cabinet secretaries.
One more for you. You need to deal with this. Pollster Nate Silver, he wants Biden to resign now. He says, quote, there is no particular reason to assume Biden is competent to be president, end quote. If Biden steps down, Kamala Harris becomes the president.
Yeah.
I guess that's one way of getting a female into the Oval Office, but I don't think it's going to happen, do you?
I doubt if it happens, and I've never called for anyone to resign. What I do know is, and I think the American people fully see it, comprehend it, is that President Biden just doesn't seem like he's up to the task of being the leader of the free world, being the president of the United States, the most important official on the planet. He's just not up to the task. So I think everyone sees it, and all we know is in 59 days, it's going to be President Trump, which is exactly what the country needs, frankly, what I think the world needs.
Who do you think's running this show? I mean, we've got these monumental decisions, long-range missiles going into Russia, landmines into Ukraine, $100 billion worth of green spending coming up that they want to spend. Who's pushing this?
Well, in foreign policy, it's the same team that was around back in the Obama administration to work for Secretary Clinton. I mean, it's Jake Sullivan, it's that whole crowd, Tony Blinken, it's that crowd running foreign policy. Domestic policy, who knows? What I do know is everything they've done has been wrong in my judgment. I mean, just look at the economy we have, look at what's happened on the border, look at what's happened in foreign policy with Hamas, Hezbollah attacking our best friend Israel, what's happened in Ukraine. It's been a disaster. It's why, again, the 59 days and January 20th, 2025 can't get here soon enough.
Jim Jordan, we'll call it quits at that. Always a pleasure, Congressman. Thanks for being with us today. Appreciate it, sir.
You bet. Thank you.